On this episode of He Said, She Said Movie Reviews, we take a look at the movie Dr. Sleep, written and directed by Mike Flanagan, based off the novel by Stephen King. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
Okay, so we just finished seeing Dr. Sleep, and I'm here with Justin from What's Up Dunwoody podcast, because April's out of town in Germany with our daughter, and Justin volunteered to see this movie with us. So Dr. Sleep, I give this movie 4 stars. What do you give it, Justin?
You're going to go right into the stars?
Right off the bat.
You don't want to talk about the fact that I'm not a she said this week?
Well, you are filling in for April. You are the she said. So you got to go in with a little bit of falsetto there.
Are you the she said? Or
no, I'm definitely the he said. You just got to look at the picture. So
can I do a decimal value on this? I'm going to go 4.75.
4.75. There you go. So we'll tell you all about it right after these 2 trailers. So the first trailer we saw is Bloodshot. This is the new Vin Diesel movie. This is coming out in February 21st of 2020, and it's all about a soldier who has died and who has been augmented with nanobots. So it looks really good. It looks like it's going to be a lot of eye candy, a lot of great action and special effects.
Pretty much your dream for Vin Diesel dying. Like that he just gets to come back right away.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. A lot of good-looking special effects.
Yep.
And if you saw the trailer, you know that his memory gets wiped, and you just get to reuse him as a vehicle for killing other people over and over again. I mean, he is going to figure it out after a while, right?
Eventually, and then he's going to kill his handler. It stars Vin Diesel, Pearce,
Guy
Pearce, and a player to be named later.
How many movies end with them killing their handler? A lot, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm in though. You want to go see it?
I'm going to go see it. We can go see it together. We'll send April out of the country again.
You don't think April wants to see that?
She likes Vin Diesel too.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, so the second movie is The Grudge. Yes, they've remade The Grudge, and this comes out January 3rd.
They're going to surprise you with the trailer. You don't think it's a Grudge movie, and then suddenly...
It's a Grudge movie. When you see the hand come out of the hair, you know it's a Grudge movie.
The hair follicles coming out of the shower thing. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I should have known at that point.
Exactly. All right, so Dr. Sleep. Years following the events of The Shining, a now adult Dan Torrance, I still want to call him Danny, must protect a young girl with similar powers from a cult known as the True Knot, who prey on children with powers to remain immortal. Directed by Mike Flanagan, this guy is known for...
The House on Haunting Hill.
The House on Haunting Hill. Well, yes.
Well, maybe. He might, or he might not be.
Season 2 of The House on Haunting Hill. Ouija, The Origins of Evil, and Before I Wake. And he's both the writer and director, and of course this is based off of the book by Stephen King.
He edited the movie too. We commented
on that at the end. Yes, he did edit the movie. He didn't let anybody else play, so.
He was like, I shot it, I'm just going to take it back to my house, and then that's it.
Film it and edit it. So what about the cast?
So we had Ewan McGregor in there, Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. She wore that hat quite well. She's in the trailer, so we can talk about the hat.
Absolutely. She wears that hat well.
Yeah. Cliff Curtis, somebody that you've seen in TV shows and everything else, but you might not know his name. Now you actually do.
From Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And Zahn McClarnon, he's part Irish, part Native American. I mean, what can't you cast that guy in?
Exactly. Alyn Lind, who was Snakebite Andy. I loved her character.
Oh, yes, she was good.
And a few others in this movie. April would have liked the movie, but she would have been about 30 minutes left in the movie. She would have been, can we go now? It's because it went way over her runtime. It was an hour and 152 minutes. And this movie is rated R for disturbing and violent content, some bloody images, language, nudity, and drug use. I don't know where the nudity was in the movie.
Well, really the drug use too. Do you count alcohol as a drug?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Drug and I guess maybe the shooting up of the little girl with the drugs. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, the most what's disturbing is that April would have left toward the end of the second act. I felt like the pacing was great in it. It moved right along.
Oh yeah, for a movie that was almost 3 hours long, there wasn't a dull moment, and I think they moved the plot along really well.
Yeah, there's actually very few movies that I want to just stay in the theater for. Right?
Yeah, and we actually stayed through the credits too.
Right, we did.
So I can't say enough about this movie. This is a new classic, I think. It's far better. I pre-gamed this movie. I watched The Shining last night before coming to see the movie tonight, and I'll tell you, I'm glad I did, because this movie, this is not a spoiler, but this movie basically starts right off where the other movie ended. Maybe a couple months later, that Danny and his mom had moved to Florida. But that's where the movie started. When I was really impressed too, and I like the fact that they didn't use CGI to bring back the mother character. They actually used a different actress, and we'll leave it at that and they actually showed the young Danny, and that was a different actor, and we'll leave it at that. But I'm glad that they didn't use CGI to bring back actors that were in the previous movie.
Well, and if you're expecting the same pacing as The Shining, and I think what you realized was that the original Shining was actually really slow. For a long time, it's a slow buildup, right?
Yes, it is a slow buildup.
And even if you go and you look back at like Star Wars, I mean, there's a whole period where they're just out in the desert for a really long time. I mean, it's not that fast paced. When I show it to my kids, they're like, well, this is kind of slow, Dad.
I agree.
They just walk out of the room. They don't tell me that. But this kind of gets right into it, but sticks with a lot of the same, I don't know. You feel it is, I'm surprised they didn't say this is The Shining Part 2, right? I mean, is it weird that they called it Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, I understand. Well, in The Shining, Danny's nickname was Doc. They kept calling him Doc
right.
Doc this, based off of the Bugs Bunny cartoons. That was brought up several times. So I get where the title came from with Dr. Sleep.
Well, I guess what I'm saying from a marketing aspect, though, I'm surprised that they didn't just embrace, like,
you call it The Shining too?
Well, or Dr. Sleep, A Shining Story or something like that.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying there.
I feel like there was a lot of arguments behind the scenes about what to call this movie, right?
No, I agree with you there.
But it's definitely a Shining sequel. You get that right away. Right off the bat. And what's really cool, at the start of the third act, this is not really a spoiler. Well, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the fact that they do end up at the Overlook Hotel. So in the start of The Shining is Jack Nicholson in his car driving up to the Overlook Hotel, up the windy mountain roads with the ominous music playing. There's plenty of that.
And they did that at the start of the third act. The same thing, same music, different car, of course, and it was at nighttime instead of daylight. But they did a good job of paying homage to the original movie, I thought.
And I think the exciting part about that is I almost thought the movie was done at that point. Right? And then
I
went
agree.
and ran. I said, well, this is a good time to go to the bathroom.
So let's talk about the acting and the characters. I have to say, I thought Ewan McGregor did a phenomenal job. I was really impressed with. There wasn't a single person in the movie that I didn't think didn't do a good job. And I didn't think anybody phoned it in. I thought everybody was their character. There was no actor saying, "Oh, that's Ewan McGregor playing Danny Torrance." No, that was Danny Torrance, the adult version of Danny Torrance. And hats off to. Got to go back a page here. I got to say hats off to Rebecca Ferguson, who played Rose the Hat. Rose the Hat is the antagonist of the movie. For me, she's one of my favorite antagonists at this point. I think she's right up there with Darth Vader. So,
when you can have any sort of empathy for a cult, right? They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Because at some point you're like, well, maybe they should just kill people and continue to do what they're doing because they've been doing it long enough, right?
Exactly. Direction?
Great.
Yeah.
I played enough to the homage, but also kind of,
did his own thing.
Yeah.
But he once again, he directed, wrote, and edited. So, if we can't complain about the editing either. So,
iron-fisted control of his movie somehow.
The score.
I mean, again,
they opened it up with the old Warner Brothers logo and the music from the original Shining.
And I think I told you within 30 seconds, I was like, I already like this movie. Because
yes, you did.
Yeah.
You said that right off the bat. Cinematography, I thought it really shined here. This film was filmed in Georgia, here in Atlanta,
Great
in and
state.
around Atlanta. And you never, ever got the feeling that it was filmed here in Atlanta. It was up in Colorado. It was down in Florida. It was up in Maine or New Hampshire. It was in Iowa. You got all those feelings, but that was all places here in and around Atlanta. So I thought...
Is that a slight to this great state of Georgia that you never know it's actually in Georgia? Can we just be any other state?
We could be any other state we want to be. So, in state of confusion even. So the production design was good. The cinematography was great.
Yeah.
There's a scene where they pull up in the camper in the woods around this campsite, and there was smoke and haze. I thought that was a really cool effects. The special effects in this movie were also really good, I thought.
And not over the top.
Not over the top, but there's a scene where Rose, the antagonist, goes on an astral body projection. I thought that was done really well.
Almost a Big Lebowski kind of.
Yeah,
it does. No, yeah,
yes, you're right.
Very similar. Yeah,
editing was fine.
Yeah,
Mike did a great job there too. So in all of the hats,
his basement.
Yeah, in his basement, he probably wrote the credits too at the end. So, and the dialogue was even good. There was some great stuff. I'm horrible at figuring out the theme of a movie. I'll let Justin here talk about the theme of this.
Well, I thought the theme was spelled out very clear in the beginning. They said that the darkest things in life are the hungriest, right? So you're going to be attracted almost to the worst things that are out there, and that's what you have to morally rebel against. Would you agree?
Yeah, that works for me.
So don't join any cults.
Don't join any cults. Don't drink the Kool-Aid
because they're just going to emphasize, you know what?
Or drink the steam.
Yes.
So.
Was the steam, was it the same as The Shining? Did you find those synonymous?
Yeah, I think it's all the same thing.
Okay, it's all the same thing.
Right.
Magic powers.
Magic powers. So, hey, listen. It's a really good movie. We really enjoyed it. We're doing this podcast from the bowels of the Spring Cinema and Tap House. If you're looking for a great movie theater here in Atlanta, please go to the Springs. It's a great theater. The only heated seats in Georgia, and it was freezing cold tonight, so I really appreciated the heated seats.
So I have friends from California that are coming to this theater to watch the last Star Wars movie of the classic trilogy, I guess.
So they've listened to our podcast and they know all about the Spring Cinema and Tap House.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're coming here for the experience.
Yeah, there you go. And they got great beer, which we are enjoying as we're recording. So thanks a lot for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, please tell a friend about the podcast. We appreciate it. Until next time, see you at the movies.
She said, signing out.
And lastly, a great shout out and thank you to Justin from the What's Up Dunwoody podcast. We really appreciate you helping out in our hour of need with April out of the country. You're welcome back anytime, my friend.